You know, there's one question that's probably crossed every single person's mind at some point. What happens after we die? It's a huge one. Well, today we're going to dive into a really ancient story from the Upanishads about a young boy who wasn't just brave enough to ask that question, he was brave enough to ask it to the Lord of Death himself.
So here they are. On the one hand, you have this young boy, Nachiketa, and on the other, the powerful, intimidating figure of Yama, the god of death. Now, their meeting was no accident. It was the result of a serious quest for truth, a quest that all started with one profound, and let's be honest, timeless question.
And there it is. That's the question Nachiketa puts to Yama. It's so bold, so direct, and it cuts right to the heart of everything we wonder about. But you have to ask, how on earth did a young boy get an audience with death and earn the right to ask for the biggest secret in the universe? Well, that story actually starts right here on Earth. Yeah, our story doesn't kick off in some mystical underworld. It starts with Nachiketa's father, a sage who decided to perform this huge sacrifice, to get in good with the gods. But as Nachiketa was about to find out, his dad's heart wasn't really in the right place.
See, the whole point of the sacrifice was to give away everything he owned. But Nachiketa noticed his father was only giving away the old, sickly cattle. Cows that were, frankly, useless to anyone. He could see that it was all for show, that his father wasn't being genuine. And this really bothered him. So trying to get his father to make a real, meaningful sacrifice, Nachiketa asks him, "Father, to whom will you give me?" He asks once, then twice, and then a third time. And his father, just losing it in a flash of anger, snaps, "I give you to death." And just like that, a few angry words from his dad completely sealed his fate.
But here's the thing about Nachiketa. He wasn't scared, not at all. He just accepted what his father said and made the journey to Yama's realm. But when he got there, Yama wasn't home. So what does he do? He waits, right there at the gates, with no food, no water for 3 entire days and nights. And that kind of determination, well, that gets you noticed.
When Yama finally gets back, he feels absolutely terrible. Leaving a guest waiting like that was a huge sin. So, to make it right, he tells this incredibly determined kid he can have 3 boons. Basically 3 wishes, anything he wants.
So for his first wish, Nachiketa asks for his father to not be angry anymore and to welcome him back. For his second, he asks for the knowledge of a special fire ritual that leads to heaven. And Yama's like, done and done, easy. But that third wish was the one that stopped the god of death himself cold.
Yama tried to talk him out of it. He said, look, even some of the gods don't know this secret. Ask for anything else. But instead of just saying no, Yama saw something in this boy. He decided to put him to the test, to see if he was actually worthy of this kind of cosmic knowledge. And wow, what a test it was. Yama basically offers him the world. He's talking vast empires, tons of gold, elephants, musicians, a life as long as he could ever want. He offers him literally every single worldly pleasure you can think of, if he'll just drop that one question about death. And this is where Yama lays out one of the most brilliant teachings. He explains that there are 2 paths in life. There's the path of Preya, or the pleasant. This is the easy path, filled with all those temporary joys that most of us chase after. And then there's the path of Shreya, the good. This one leads to real wisdom and a kind of bliss that lasts forever. It's the harder path, the one only the truly wise are willing to walk. Nachiketa's answer here is just incredible. He basically tells the god of death, all these things are temporary. They just wear you out. You can keep your horses and your dancers. Wealth can't make a person truly happy. He turns down everything because all he wants is the truth. By saying no to the path of pleasure, he proved he was ready for the path of the good.
Yama was just blown away. He finally realized, okay, this kid is the real deal. He'd found a student who was truly worthy of the ultimate secret, and so he agreed to finally answer Nachiketa's question.
So, Yama starts teaching, but interestingly, he doesn't start by talking about heaven or reincarnation or anything like that. He starts with something way more fundamental, the true nature of what he calls the self, the essence of who we are, which in the Upanishads is known as the Atma.
Now, how do you explain a concept that big? Well, Yama uses this absolutely perfect metaphor. He compares a human being to a chariot. Okay, so check this out. He says your body, that's the chariot itself. Your 5 senses, they're the wild horses pulling it. Your mind is the reins trying to control them, and your intellect is the driver. But, and this is the most important part,
You, your true self, your Atman, you are the master of the whole chariot. A wise person uses their intellect, the driver, to control the mind and senses, the reins and horses, to make sure the chariot goes where it's supposed to.
And here it is. This is the great secret Yama reveals. The self, the master in the chariot, is immortal. It was never born, and it can never, ever die. When the physical body is gone, the Atman, that pure consciousness, just continues. And the whole point of life, Yama says, is to figure this out, to realize deep down that you aren't your body or your thoughts, but this eternal self.
Armed with this absolutely life-changing knowledge, Nachiketa had finally gotten the answer he so bravely searched for. His quest was over, and his incredible journey was about to come full circle.
So he takes his leave from Yama and returns to the world of the living. But he wasn't the same kid who left. His own father said he was literally glowing, like someone who had truly understood the nature of reality. I mean, think about it. He faced death itself and came back with the secret to immortality.
And Nachiketa's story doesn't just end there. He grows up to become a famous teacher, a great sage, sharing the wisdom he learned from Yama with anyone who was also searching for the truth. His story became this timeless lesson that's been inspiring people for thousands and thousands of years.
So in the end, this ancient story leaves all of us right where Nachiketa was standing in front of Yama, at a crossroads. It presents us with that exact same choice that the Lord of Death laid out for that brave young boy.
The easy, temporary rush of the pleasant, or the deeper, lasting fulfillment of the good? It's a question that's just as real for us today as it was all those centuries ago. And it's a choice we don't just make once in a lifetime, it's a choice we make with our actions and our thoughts every single day.